It's your show, lady.
No, I mean, I don't know what's going on, and my microphone is falling down. Oh, no. The whole podcast is leaning to the left. That's okay, I put my foot on it.
Everybody get on the right-hand side.
Now jump up and down so we can get this podcast right. Oh, thank you.
Okay, that works. That works right there.
I think it was kind of like on Star Trek when they get hit by a torpedo or something. And I'm really regretting not having video right now because you are acting so...
I'm making fun of you.
Smart.
Because you're like, I'm going to sit as far back on this chair as I can and then just shove the microphone all the way back.
Cristy, when you have a migraine and you're making a podcast anyway, being mocked by your sister is like a cure-all.
Lisa,
It's the magic elixir
you
of
know
headaches.
that you can't beat it.
No, but I can beat you. Oh!
And I'll be expecting it.
As I've said before, if I ever turn up dead, please make sure that the police know that the first suspect should be my sister, Christina.
I wasn't there, man. I was watching TV at my house by myself.
And that any alibi that she could have possibly made is incredibly false. I have this now recorded.
I was there, so that means that...
I wanted her dead, but I didn't do it. I'm just happy she's gone.
You know that's not true, Lisa.
No, but I know that's what your character would say on Law and Order.
We should do our own community Law and Order
Parody? Why would we do a community Law and Order parody when we could just do a parody of our
Well,
own?
because we just watched that and it was really funny and we should do something similar. Boom, boom.
That's about as original as a sci-fi original series.
Oh, nice transition there, Lisa.
You like my segue?
Should we open up the show now?
Okay. Hello, and welcome to
Viva
Viva
la
la
Nerd.
Nerd. We're coming to you live from next Thursday from the planet Zlargon.
Oh, beautiful sunsets in Slargar.
And I'd like to thank our alien overlords for permitting us to bring our microphones so that we can call for help.
They're very kind.
I think
They only whipped me 5 times when I was shoving coal into a sack.
Was this before or after the anal probe?
I don't remember because they erased that from my memory.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
They are kind overlords.
They are kind, yeah.
I think that, now that I think about it, the idea of this podcast as a cry for help is really quite
It's
accurate.
like those Facebook cries for help.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so alone.
Because you're on Facebook all the
And
time.
I'm posting it on Facebook because I'm so alone.
Why don't you go outside?
My phone number is...
That's really tragic. I don't know why I'm laughing.
It is sad.
Well,
But a lot of people responded to my post, so it was nice.
You totally had me going there. Of course, my shrink listens to the podcast.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so she says I need monitoring.
Well, we do have monitoring on GarageBand.
Is that where you can listen to yourself as you're...
No, that's where it makes sure that there's no feedback.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well,
Kind of like your therapist.
Same idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, back to the podcast. Original series on sci-fi. Very rarely, actually, a sci-fi original. By the way, you know who does that also? Hulu. They call these things Hulu originals, and
they're just British series.
Yeah, it's like when NBC.
It's like, yeah, I really liked it before when it was on BBC.
Well, you know what? NBC used to say, it's a rerun, but if you haven't seen it, it's new to you.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's the same thing, but, you could call it an exclusive. In the United States, this is the only time that you're going to see this program is on Hulu. Even though it's a sitcom from 1978.
Oh.
Exciting. Actually, I'm not making fun of Hulu. They're friends of mine. They certainly allow me to be a potato on this couch of mine.
They love taking my money. And I love them for it.
Thank you, Hulu. But Syfy is the other very notorious, sci-fi original, like Lost Girl. It was on in Canada 2 years before.
Yeah, but do they call that an exclusive?
Yeah, they call that an
They
original.
do?
They call that an original, a sci-fi original.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
Canada doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess if it's in another country, they can call it an exclusive.
Well, no, they could call it an exclusive, but they call it an original.
Oh,
And it's a lie. Lost Girl is not a sci-fi original.
well, it's in Canada, so they have to translate into English, so...
You mean into American?
Yeah, they have to take out the oys and the...
And the U's. There's
and the
extra U's in every word.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
did you know you could not understand a word they're saying because they say color with a U?
I'm telling you, they do a lot of work, actually, Syfy does.
Oh, well,
That's why it's an original.
I get it. Because they bastardize it to such an extent, taking out all the Canadianness, all the hockey references.
Okay, for people that maybe don't know, we're kidding.
What? I'm not kidding. Kidding about what?
About taking out the U's and the O's.
Cristy, if they're that dumb, they shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Well, Lisa, I do not want to alienate the stupid. We need everyone on board.
Listen, I think we have enough Canadian listeners at this point that we're going to be okay.
I think there was one download from a Canadian person.
Woo!
Australians, now they only had one download.
Okay, so we're moving our way through the Commonwealth.
I think we had one in China.
Kiwis, where are you? Kiwis, we're waiting for you.
I think it's because I'm friends with the geek girls from Australia. They have a...
You're friends with Australians?
Yeah, dude. Surf's up.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's shrimp on the Barbie.
I did not know that you were fraternizing.
I'm not into Barbie, but the shrimp is really good. I'm more into Ken, but, I like the shrimp on the Ken.
That is the dumbest joke.
That's so dumb. Why am I laughing at that?
I guess it's funny in a way. Yeah, okay, I'm laughing too. I totally forgot what I was talking about.
I know. Oh, sci-fi originals.
Oh, okay.
Lost Girl.
So sci-fi originals. So this week, Syfy launched a really sci-fi original series.
What?
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, the lead actor is Canadian.
Of course.
But that's by the by. Like, pretty much I figure that 50% of the people on TV are actually Canadian.
Yeah, and most of the stuff that we watch is made in Vancouver.
Well, I know. But, they have American actors that they fly up there and whatever. But there's so many, like, undercover Canadians. I love it.
Undercover Canadians.
Like...
Canadians undercover.
Like, Michael J. Fox. He looks totally normal. Well, okay, except for the shaky. But...
Oh, you did not. Oh, my God. You're going straight to hell. You're catching the express elevator to hell.
Oh, we knew that, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, that's not news. Anyway, so, like, you look at someone who's totally, like, normal looking. Like, Michael J. Fox, he seems like a nice guy and everything. And then you find out, oh, no, he's from Canada. Ah!
Many of your community friends, Lisa, are Canadian.
Actually, I am such a wannabe Canadian.
It is a pretty cool... I have actually considered moving it there.
I have too. And if it wasn't so cold, I would be there already.
I know. I would just like to move it somewhere else.
Well, that's the nice thing about global warming.
This pretty much, yeah.
is soon Quebec City will
It's
be
going to be
having
perfect temperature.
they're going to be having a tropical festival instead of an ice festival.
It's going to be like LA, Lisa.
Oh, maybe not.
No, I mean weather-wise, not smog.
Oh, okay. And like personality?
Normal personality.
Actually, one of my favorite places on earth is northern Quebec.
Quebec, yo.
Nice try.
I know.
So, back to Planet Blargon. So, Syfy, the series, the channel, had launched a new series this week. And I only saw the first episode. They did three back-to-back episodes, movie length, to launch the series called Ascension. And I saw the first one, and I have to say that unlike most of Syfy's productions, it was pretty good.
I wanted to watch it last night, and you said no.
I don't have the first.
Oh. But
Wait,
you told
like
me,
it- like
you
you
told me
need-
it was not good.
Like you need my permission. Weirdo. Anyway.
Yeah, I do, because every time I say something, you're like, no, we're not. And then you do whatever you want.
I wonder who the older sister could be.
I think you are pushing me out of the cat door.
Okay, that's way too inside joke.
Yeah.
So the joke is that whenever my cat misbehaves, I push her out the cat door to go outside. And being a cat, she doesn't like.
And then the older sister cat sits in front of the door so that the other one can't come back in.
Okay, so long story short, older sisters, older sisters are mean and they suck.
No.
And I'm the older sister. And hey, I freely admit it. I am a mean.
No, you're not always
Bitch.
mean.
Not always. Sometimes I'm sleeping.
Stop it. That's not true.
No, so seriously, I sleep for like 8 hours a day. And I'm very nice during that period.
Shut up.
So, Ascension was okay. And I think I will watch this next 2 episodes to give it a chance.
So what is this show about, Lisa?
Well, without giving anything away, spoilers, there's a big twist at the end of the first episode, but it's about a giant like spaceship that's going out into space to find the next place for humans to live. So it's kind of like Interstellar, like
It's kind of like every sci-fi movie.
well, it's not exactly, when we say again, sci-fi original doesn't mean that there's an original thought in it. And it's like they launched in the 60s. So they were doing during the first episode this kind of like Mad Men in space thing.
Okay.
Because even though they've been on the spaceship for 50 years and, there's been changes of generation, like the idea is that because they're cut off from the planet, they have a different kind of historical evolution than we have had. So they didn't have, they left in the early 60s, I guess, in Mad Men times. And so they didn't have A Summer of Love. They didn't have Nixon. They didn't have the Berlin Wall coming down. They don't have these major shifts that changed the course of human history on Earth and the way that we think, And
So are they still hitting women?
no, but they still have bouffants. So they're very much dressing like,
So you mean
mid-60s.
style-wise, not like...
Well, also in, their way of thinking, they're kind of in the 60s. So that was kind of an interesting idea, and the idea that, there are generations living and dying in the course of this spaceship out in the middle of nowhere. on its way to finding a place to colonize, just in case the Earth does get ruined. I think that's a common theme in sci-fi because
yes, it is.
It's all too probable. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a character, as happens in a lot of cheesy sci-fi, like Dr. Exposition, like basically the guy who explains what's going on. So they have this guy who explains the interesting concepts. And he's going like, isn't it interesting that if they had gone to space in 1960, they would never have had the shock of a Richard Nixon? Oh, thank you, Dr. Exposition.
So there's a narrator?
You get to see what's happening on Earth.
Oh.
At the same time. So again, I don't want to give anything away. There's a twist. But it kind of felt like they were trying to do Mad Men in space.
Mm-hmm. So is that depressing?
Well, no. There's not that much alcoholism.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, it just kind of like the fun part of
the fun part. Okay.
Mad Men. Did you actually watch Mad Men?
Yes, I did.
I did not know that.
I cannot watch too much of it, and usually I will stick just about everything in life. I will like do something all the time until I get sick of it.
Yeah, and stick with it long past its usefulness.
I was trying to do that with Mad Men, but after a while I had to stop because it was like, yeah, that's right. Everything does suck. I need a martini.
Yeah, it got very, very dark and depressing. I stopped watching it too.
It's good. It's just, oof.
Yeah. That was an actual sci-fi original. So I'm going to give it a try. See how, the other 2 episodes have aired already. They're on my DVR. I haven't seen them, but you have Hulu. I'm sure it's on there, right?
Yeah, I'll have to watch it when I get home.
I also binge watched all of Helix this week.
I watched a lot of it, and then at one point it was just like, eh.
Well, the good thing about binge watching, especially for people like us who get obsessive, is, it's like a funnel. You don't have to wait for the commercials and wait till next week and get bored with the concept, while it's still fresh and cool, like you can swallow the whole bottle. Is that a good metaphor?
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, okay. Well,
you can take all of the pills in the pill bottle and then, it's great that way. Should I be worried, Lisa?
Going back to the podcast as cry for help theme. It's okay, alien overlords. We'll be fine.
Yes, we will.
Just keep feeding us when we hit the blue button. And Helix is also a sci-fi original, but a real,
it's an actual one, though.
It's a real one.
Yeah. Interesting premise.
And it's really well made. It's got great actors. Mm-hmm. Billy Campbell is very good in it. Mm-hmm. The Japanese actor who's sort of the bad guy, but maybe not so bad. I forget the guy's name. Anyway, and good production values.
Yes.
But it does not have an original thought in its body.
Well, it's like doing old ideas a little bit different.
But, I mean, what there is new?
Well, you've got zombies.
You've got zombies, you've got virus, you've got... by the way, the sound that the vectors make is straight out of I Am Legend.
Oh, yeah.
It's exactly that. Like, they recycled that. That's another Sony production, I think.
We don't like Sony, by the way. Please don't break down my computer. North Korea is really, really great. I love that. Yeah, we should travel there. It's great. It's great stuff.
I have no idea what you're talking
wonderful.
about.
Wonderful North Korea. Yeah.
Oh, did I understand Mercury? You said North Korea?
North Korea. It's a great place. Great place.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, I have incredible admiration for that country.
Stop it.
Whew.
Ew. No, it's your pandering that I'm disgusted with. What would their Blargonians say, Cristy?
I don't know.
It's probably something in Blargonian.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's well done, but it's completely predictable. And then like the people with the silver eyes are kind of like vampires. You know, they're immortal.
Wow, I have not watched very much of this.
I guess not. Oh, Jerry Ryan was in it.
Still talking about the same season?
Yeah, season 1.
How many episodes did I watch?
I don't know. There were a lot of them.
Jeez, okay.
Did you see Jerry Ryan?
Remember, I don't know anybody's face by their name.
7 of 9. Remember the character 7 of 9 from Star Trek? Okay, she is blonde. She's like one of the most beautiful women on earth. You would know her if you saw her.
Okay.
Okay, so the blonde lady. Was there a beautiful blonde lady? Did you get that far? No, I guess not.
I don't think so.
No, you didn't.
No.
You would remember.
The zombies were running towards the people and they were running away and then they like locked it and so they're like isolated.
Okay, so you saw episode 1.
No.
Oh my god.
No, I saw like 3 or 4 episodes, I think.
Okay. Anyway, same
sorry.
story. It's just rehash. 100% rehash, done well. But it made me think of the way that on Broadway, for example, most of the productions are remakes of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And how...
Well, now they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in movies, mostly we get, comic books redone. And it's just like we're in a cycle as a culture of recycling.
Everything is quote unquote rebooted. We made a new word for it.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, when's the last time we celebrated something for being new? There's just a lot of recycling going on.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that Ascension would be something new, and you take a risk, it could suck. It could be something new and terrible, new and worthless. I think that's the problem is, you go with something safe. You go with a remake, oh, everybody loves the X-Men.
Yeah.
Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Which
brings us to
the question we started last week of trilogies.
Yes.
So I had been thinking about this more in literary terms, but like, why is everything in sci-fi a trilogy? Like, what is this obsession with the trilogy? It seems like when I get books, like they'll have a brand new book, right? And it'll say the first of the such and such trilogy. And it's like, you just came out today. How can you be a trilogy already? Like, well, because you plan it that way. And there must be some appeal to that. But like, why are sci-fi people so obsessed with trilogies?
Well, it's not just sci-fi, Lisa.
Yeah?
Yeah, no. We have trilogies for all kinds of genres.
Well, you're right. Proust, À la recherche de temps perdu, which was translated in in English as...
That was me hitting my head against the microphone.
I do love out-nerding you. Yeah. So okay, what are some of the other non-sci-fi trilogies, Cristy?
Lisa, I think it's beyond nerd. You outbrain me. I'm like, duh. I managed to wipe the drool off my face today. It was very exciting.
Cristy, we all have to celebrate our abilities and not our disabilities. Bonk. Usually I just think that you're like completely bored by me. You're like, oh my God, here we go with the French literature again.
No, I just feel stupid.
Oh, stop it. I don't believe that for a second.
Anyway, so Star Wars trilogy.
So Star Wars was one that was conceived as a trilogy, right? It's a real trilogy. And actually, I think it's a trilogy of trilogies, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Didn't
the
he plan
prequels were trilogies.
Didn't he plan it as...
And now these next movies coming out are going to be a trilogy.
Didn't he plan it as there were going to be 3 series of 3? Like
George
from the
Lucas?
beginning? Yeah.
I know he planned the first 3.
I think... We'll have to check on this, but I think he had planned the prequels and a 3rd series from the beginning. And that they were each a series of 3. A trilogy of trilogies. Which would be the God of Gods.
That would be 9, Lisa.
The
9.
ne plus ultra of ultras.
That would be 9, people. 9.
So, you know, one thing that was really funny is I was doing some research on
9.
trilogies.
9.
What the fuck? 9. Is that...
I can add.
Oh! Yay!
Thank you.
We celebrate your abilities. That's not even funny. Stop hitting the microphone with your forehead.
Anyway, trilogies. You've got Blade.
Oh, so I was looking up like what trilogies, what are the trilogies that somehow I have in my head?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, sure. Blade, okay. Lord of the Rings, that was
Big one.
a big one. But
Except the 3rd book was split into 2 movies because it was so big.
I was talking about the books.
No, well, yeah.
And I read that he didn't intend it to be 3 books. He didn't intend it to be a trilogy at all. He just thought of it as one big book. And they were like, whoa there, 12,000 pages. We're going to break this up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering if a lot of the talk of trilogies is really just more marketing. Because as I was doing this research, I'd find, you know, the Back to the Future trilogy, the this trilogy, the that trilogy. And it's like, no, it's just, there's 3 of them. That doesn't mean it's a trilogy.
Here's how it goes, Lisa.
Okay.
First one. We don't know if it's going to be good. Oh, wow. You actually got it made? Awesome.
People like it?
Then, boo! Out of the park. It is a big hit.
Okay.
Hey, why not do a second one? Well, artistic and tech. Well, how much money? Okay, yeah. And then it's like, it's not so. That one wasn't so good. You know,
But
I really would feel.
money.
I really would feel better if I could really put a tail end to it, and bring back the story and complete it.
And kind of fix the second one?
Yeah, and then the company's like, sure, we made money. Yeah, that sounds good. And then after that, it's like, I really shouldn't do that again.
Okay, 3's enough.
3's enough. That's good.
Oh, so it's really like an arc of...
It's the psychology of the trilogy.
The
Lisa.
psychology of the trilogy. That's not bad. See, I found a lot of things where there just happened to be 3. Like, people talked about, the Matrix trilogy. No, there's actually 4. Because there was an animated movie, too.
No, it's a trilogy.
It wasn't meant to be. After the first one, there was no talk of, it was like, the Matrix. It was exactly the psychology that you're describing.
Oh. I thought it was thought of as a trilogy, the first movie.
Well, yeah, really, no, I don't know. I don't know about that one, but then one that was offered up as a trilogy was like the Night of the Living Dead trilogy. No, actually, there's 5 of them. It's like you just took the first 3 and decided not to bother with the other 2 or, stuff like that. It's like, just because there's 3 of something doesn't mean that it's a trilogy. But I think there's something about 3 that's very satisfying. It's a magic number, in fact.
It is a magic number, as we've established before.
Should we pause here for a musical interlude? No more, no less. It's a magic number.
It's a magic number. 3. It's a magic number. Ah.
I forgot how it goes. We're going to have to play it.
Yeah, whatever.
But you know, there's the rule of 3 in comedy. You're looking off into the void, like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Things are funnier in 3s. So if you have, it's like part of, like, story structure, basic story structure, you know, where you talk about first act being this setup, second act is like leading up to the action, and then the third act is the resolution, and the character has to change, and there's a resolution of the problem. You know, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's story structure.
Okay, so rule of 3 in comedy is you have to have, it's 2 to set up and 3 is the joke.
Really? 2 to set up?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, if you start thinking about it, like, you'll realize, like, a lot of
You need to introduce
jokes,
it.
a
Then
lot
you
of
need to
jokes
talk about
are
it.
like,
Then you need the
it's
joke.
the third thing.
Oh,
It's the third thing, Cristy.
okay.
Anyway, we'll get back to that. Well, in art, there's the golden ratio.
Love that.
You remember composition class?
I love the
in
golden
art
triangle.
school? Exactly.
Yeah, that stuff
composition
is
class. It's all about the triangle.
And it's mathematical, Lisa.
And, well, exactly. Don't even get me started on the Fibonacci sequence because I will just go nuts. Okay, that's not anything to do with 3s. Oh no, she's giving me that look again. The look that says, nerd. Stop hitting the mic. I'm not even sure that that's registering as a noise.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, great. I can't wait to play this back.
I'll probably
We're going
have
to have to redo the whole thing because Cristy refused to stop hitting the mic with her head. But at least she wiped the drool from her chin. Yay! Everybody has a purpose in life. Okay, Cristy. Well, I really like your explanation of the trilogy because I think that's really what happens. I think that people do write and plan ahead trilogies because it's the same story structure but on a meta scale. And so the same way that you have first, second, third act, you have it as, 3 long parts. And that makes sense to me. But I've lost my train of thought. You know what? It's this thin atmosphere here in Blorgon.
Yeah, it does that. It has, you have to adjust to it.
Also, time travel plays with your head.
Totally.
So we may have to get back to planet Earth soon.
If there's still any trees left on it.
Oh, travel back in time.
Oh, okay.
We'll go to a tree time.
But no dinosaurs, Lisa.
Definitely no dinosaurs.
No.
Don't be silly. Well, I'd like to thank our alien overlords for having us here on planet Blorgon.
We're not going to talk about Lost Girl?
Oh, I forgot about Lost
That was
Girl.
the one thing that I was like, I really want to talk about Lost Girl.
Well, I don't have the set list in front of me.
Last time you got mad at me because I didn't follow the sequence.
Cristy, we don't need to air our dirty laundry in front of the Blorgonians.
Lisa, that's what this show is about, is our dirty laundry.
Well, I'm going to keep my underwears to myself.
Good.
So, jump on in, Cristy. Tell me something about Lost Girl.
I love it. It's good.
And that concludes Cristy Cristy's episode for today. It's real good.
Okay, so it's a Canadian show, and they just started showing it.
It's in the 4th year now.
Yeah, but they showed it late.
Yeah, we got seasons 1 and 2 back to back in the U.S. on Syfy, advertised as a
Original. Showcase in Canada is the one that is the company that produces it.
Is it on?
Is it a
CBC?
company or is it a channel?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I know it's
Is
Showcase.
it on CBC? Who airs it on?
I don't know. I think maybe Showcase is a channel.
You know,
we should have found that out.
we should do research before we start recording stuff.
Who needs that?
Well, you know, it just goes to show that the show is really live and that it is completely unscripted and we are just talking out of our asses.
Hey, it really makes me laugh when that happens.
Because just as Proust in La Recherche de Temps Perdu. Okay. So, speaking of Lost Girl does not attempt to be hoity-toity.
No. Okay. So this is how the show started. So it starts out in a bar. You've got Bo is a bartender, and this guy tries to get her to drink something, and it's like roofied or something, and she's like whatever. And then the guy meets up with this girl who does have the drink, but she's like, this guy's a loser, right? The girl ends up passing out, and
he's going to take advantage
and he's going to take advantage of her, and Bo follows them. Mm-hmm. And then they go in the elevator, and she like goes to kiss him, but you see this like energy come out of his mouth and into hers. You're like, what the hell? And then the guy's dead. Mm-hmm. Turns out Bo is
a succubus.
And you're introduced to this world of Fae, which is, you know, there's a lot of myth, like Greek myth, and a lot of that world is structured in the show.
Yeah, so I think it's cool how they take from all mythologies. Like Fae is, I think, Irish for English.
Fairy.
For fair is the world of fairies.
Mm-hmm.
The succubi are from Greek mythology. These creatures that steal the life out of you through sex, basically, right? Mm-hmm. But they take from all different world mythologies. You know, they had the Baba Yaga from Russian mythology, mm-hmm. and they have all of these.
The sidekick character is.
Yeah, they have all of these.
Is she from Belarus?
Interacting.
The sidekick is a human, but
yeah. So Bo has this human sidekick called Kenzie, and she's some kind of Russian. That girl is awesome. Mm-hmm. I think she's Ukrainian.
Ukrainian?
But I could be wrong. Anyway, she's one of them Russian type people.
Oh God.
What?
No, you know you insult people. Nobody wants to be called Russian. It's country who invaded all of these smaller countries.
I know, but again, we're American. We don't know from.
No, we don't.
We don't know from people.
No, we don't.
Places.
No.
Geography, history, biology.
Hey, I just wiped that drool, okay? I thought that was a big accomplishment. You know, knowing about the difference between Belarus and I don't even know what or where it is. Lisa, I went to an American school, so I am an idiot.
It almost sounds...
The little I know about Mexican history is what I learned in kindergarten in Mexico City, where I was also learning grammar and how to...
Tie my shoes.
Yes, in kindergarten.
Well, you know, acceptance is the first step.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that was an AA kind of, you know, hi, I'm Christina, and I'm an ignoramus.
Yes, I am.
Welcome, Christina.
So, the interesting part about Lost Girl is that there are the dark characters, or dark fae, and the light fae.
I thought the interesting thing about Lost Girl was that guy is really hot.
Dyson,
And there's like a lot.
my husband.
And it's like really sexy, you know?
Yes, it is very sexy.
The whole show is just dripping with sex, and that pun is intended. Well, she is a succubus, and she's, you know, she thrives on, I guess, sexual energy.
What's interesting about it is that it's very much of our times,
Yeah.
where it's not just a yes or no question.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just fitting into a box. It's, hey, this is a very gray area.
Yeah, she's bisexual.
She's bisexual.
Or pansexual, I don't know.
And she's saying, black or white, I'm not a dark fae, I'm not a light fae. I don't want to choose.
I never thought of that. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to choose boys over girls or vice versa, and she doesn't want to choose
She just
light
wants
over
to
dark.
have sex or fall in love.
Or both.
Or both. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other.
Sometimes it's all three.
Yeah. Although it's very obvious the actress is not a lesbian.
Oh my God. I was going to say, there is a level of...
Because her and Dyson, holy crap, those are some hot scenes.
Well, her and any guy, the scenes are sexy. Mm-hmm. And then when there was a whole season where she was with a woman. She had a girlfriend.
Which we really did not like, so I would call her Dr. Boring Lesbian. A lot of lesbians apparently think she's very hot.
Who? Dr. Boring?
Dr. Boring. She won some sort of thing where she was the hottest lesbian on something or other.
Okay, well, so meaning as a character or as a
woman,
actress?
I guess.
As an actor.
As a woman.
She's a lesbian in real life?
I don't know. The character, okay? Find the character.
Oh, the character. Okay. Well, that's fine. But I don't think that either of those actors were very good actors because they were not convincing me that they were enjoying their sex together.
It was just like, ew.
Yeah.
Not an ew as in like ew that these people are together. Ew that they looked uncomfortable and like...
Yeah.
It was just...
They were not enjoying it.
Not good.
I used to watch the L Word.
Yeah.
Which was, I think it was on Showtime.
Yeah, I think it was on Showtime.
And there was some hot sex in there. And, you know, by both actors who in real life are straight and lesbian. Much more convincing. Much more, I don't know. Just, yeah, you just could not imagine that Bo and Dr. Boring were really enjoying themselves. I was not buying it. But nonetheless, I really like the show.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
show.
just like waiting for her to, you know, hook up with somebody else.
Yeah. And even beyond the sex scenes, it's just like, it's such a boring character. And I'm like, oh, God.
She was human. She wasn't even, you know, any kind of interesting creature. Whereas the other guy was a werewolf. So, you know, things would happen every 28 days. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention that you, like, had the hots for him in a major way. You just
Ixnay on the I like him hate.
You just called him your husband, moron. Kevin, don't listen to this episode, okay? It was before you anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, he's very good looking.
Yes, your boyfriend is very good looking.
Yes, he is.
So
He's very cute and sexy.
We're gonna have to pause here for Cristy to go fix her relationship before she says anything else that's dumb and damaging.
I think it's okay.
Aww.
I love my boyfriend very much, and he is very, very sexy.
I do. You know what? I don't even want to.
That's all we're gonna say about that.
Okay, good.
So anyway, but yeah, Dr. Boring Lesbian. I'm just so sick of her.
When's the show coming
There's
back?
never been anything about that character that has been interesting since the beginning of the show.
Yeah, she's very dry in her delivery, and she's supposed to be the scientist, and everybody else is like a monster or a thief or something interesting, and they wear crazy clothes, and she's a regular person.
Even as a regular person, it's boring.
Oh, she's not a regular person. She's a boring person.
She is just a plain boring person.
Well,
Other humans, such as Kenzie, are interesting.
Kenzie is a fascinating character.
Yes.
Really great actress.
Mm-hmm. Very, very funny.
Very, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when is Lost Girl coming back? I feel like it's been a long time.
It started already in Canada.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say Canada.
That's the Blorgon talking.
Yeah, it's thinner.
Well, yeah, they're a year ahead.
Yeah.
But when is it coming back to Syfy is my question.
I don't know.
Will it be available in the United States?
I think that it's usually in the spring that it comes back.
Okay. So we have
Same with Game of Thrones.
We have I missed Game.
Only 10 episodes a season. What the hell? It's expensive clothing. Use jersey. It's a breathable fabric. And you know what? That actress can dye her hair, all right? You don't need to buy that wig.
Their wig budget alone must blow
I'm telling you.
a small country's GDP out of the water.
Them some good wigs.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned the wardrobe because
It's gorgeous.
I make clothes and I tend to notice costuming a lot, but I think that people other than myself are just wowed.
Yeah.
By
No, it is amazing. I made the mistake of watching this horrible show on the CW called Rain.
Okay.
The clothing is so bad. There's nothing good about the show. The writing is horrible. The acting is horrible. Even the clothes are obviously polyester. It's just oh.
And were they trying to pretend to be natural fibers? What was the problem with the polyester? You're wearing polyester right now. What are you talking about?
Right. Okay. But when you are trying to make a show about royalty who has the best of everything and then you put polyester.
Oh, I see.
It's just just bad.
You got to get the details right. Wardrobe is important, people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rain. I had not heard of this.
Yes, there's a reason.
But on the CW.
Yes, the teenager channel.
Yeah. Are you trying to relive your childhood?
Every damn day. No, Lisa, I think it seems like most people are still 12 years old. At least I am. I always still feel like I'm either a teenager or a 20-year-old.
Oh, you mean in your mind?
Yes, in my mind.
Because most people are definitely not 12 years old.
Yes, no, Lisa, in my mind.
Yes, no, Lisa.
Oye, tú.
Yes, I've heard people in their 80s and 90s talk about how they still feel like they're 25.
Yeah.
I think that's bad, man. I think that's you stopped growing.
What, do you feel like you're your age?
Thank you for not mentioning the number. Yes, I do.
You do?
I do.
I'm appreciative of my age because I'm happier than I've ever been. Mm-hmm. But as far as what I feel like inside, I feel sometimes like I'm 12.
Yes.
Because I feel awkward almost all the time.
Maybe that's more of a 13 then.
But most of the times I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm going to wear my Converse and like hang out at the college and, you know.
I know what you mean. You don't feel old.
No.
Yeah. I think that's fine. No, I feel like I've changed so much over the years that to say that I feel 25 would be a step back in my evolution, and it would be worse than today. I'm very happy. As you said, I'm happier than I've been.
Mm-hmm.
I've changed in a lot of ways that I'm happy that I've changed. And I don't want to be 25.
Mm-hmm.
25 was kind of ugh.
I think because time has passed, I look back on it and think about the certain things that I liked, and I don't think about the things that I didn't like.
It's a selective memory.
Yes.
Yeah. It happens a lot with, the Blorgonian atmosphere.
Yeah, it's
It
very
messes with
thin
your
air.
brain.
Past the coca leaves. Anyway, Lost Girl, check it out. It's very good.
Love that show.
A good show. I can't wait for it to start, but it's the last season.
Oh. So you mean it's a trilogy?
No, it's the 5th season.
It's a trilogy.
Shut up. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get going. So,
Takes a long time to get back to Earth.
It does. So, please give us a review. Tell us what you think. Even if it's bad, still is good to let us know that it's bad. Maybe we can work on something.
And if you like the show, please review us.
On iTunes, Stitcher, or leave us a note on YouTube. Or
Love to
you
hear
can
from you.
also reach us at Twitter. The handle is cstrong3665.
Hope you have a wonderful week. And,
Yeah. So next week is Christmas. We might
on this planet.
on this planet. Yeah. But
I'm going to be in Trenzalore.
Trenzalore. It's Christmas there all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we might do some podcasts during Christmas.
Well, it's so hard to set a schedule when you're traveling through time.
Okay. We'll have a delightful holiday. If you don't hear from us, have a happy new year.
Whichever year you may happen to be in.
And enjoy Lorgov.
So long, guys.
Bye.